Hello, welcome everybody. We're just about to get started. If you're here to learn about the future of accessibility at Tableau, awesome, you're in the right place. If you're not, we're still kind of fun. If you want to hang out, maybe we can entertain you in some way. You've seen this slide a million times, forward-looking statements. We're here to tell you what we plan to do, and we hope we will, but it is a plan, and sometimes plans change. I'm Kelly Bellinghausen. For those of you who don't recognize me, that's me if you've seen me on a call. I'm a senior engineering manager here at Tableau, and I'm so pleased today to be joined by Denise Chang.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise. I'm a software engineer here at Tableau. We're both really lucky to be on a team that supports making Tableau a more accessible product for all users. We believe that true data empowerment requires removing barriers to access, understanding, and interactions. And that's why it's our goal to make sure that everyone can see and understand data in a way that works best for them.
So we're going to cover 4 topics today. First, we'll talk about alt text enhancements. That's ways that you as an author can help your audience see and understand more of the data. We'll talk about authoring without a mouse, keyboard only, hands off. We'll talk about something coming soon, viewer-controlled themes, which you may know as dark mode. And we'll talk about how all of you can get involved because you help set our roadmap for accessibility.
So first, let's make some noise if we like plants here in this room. Amazing. I'm a huge plant person myself, and these are some of my plants. Of course, Groot is my favorite character from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I heard he got a shout out in yesterday's keynote.
See, these are my plants. I like plants too. They're plastic and kind of dusty. And I should probably take down the garland for my mother-in-law's birthday in March, but I'm busy and I don't know if I have the time or energy or skill to keep a live plant alive.
So I created this viz of 230 of the most popular houseplants all around the world. Let's try to find Kelly a plant that she might like here. But first, we need to make sure that this viz is accessible and that everyone can see and understand it. Let's start with some alt text. But what is alt text and what does it look like? Alt text is text that's read out loud by a screen reader to provide support and context for customers with disabilities. We start with a viz, and then an author can add a description. Once you navigate to that area, the screen reader will read out loud that description. So now authors can create a more accessible data visualization experience with our 2 new alt text features, filter alt text and screen reader selection. You can navigate to these features by clicking on the worksheet drop-down menu, hitting on accessibility, and then customizing your alt text for your viz. So previously, if you wanted to add alt text for a filter, you weren't able to, and so there wasn't context behind your filter. It sounded something like this.
Filter houseplant inclusive group.
But now, with filter alt text, you have the ability as an author to add that description and context. I added a description here to make it sound like this.
Filter houseplant most popular species of houseplant in countries around the world. Inclusive group.
So great. Now we have our filter alt text set up. But wait, what about our marks? Previously, if you navigated to a mark, you would have to listen to all of the metadata. And this wasn't always the most relevant information for someone using a screen reader. It would include things such as longitude and latitude, and it sounded like this.
Mark. Country, India. Houseplant, pothos. Latitude, generated, 22.74. Longitude, generated, 78.2.
So now, with screen reader selection, you're allowed to include what is on your tooltip. So that provides the most relevant experience for the customer going to their mark.
Mark. Country, India houseplant, pothos.
And fun fact, the pothos is the most popular houseplant in India. So these are 2 ways that an author can make their viz more accessible for viewers. But we're so excited because for the first time ever, authoring is also now accessible.
I'd like to start with a quote from David Isaacson, a data analyst at Rogers Communications and a user with low vision. He's one of our Data Fam beloved members. He's someone our product team can really turn to when they need feedback or questions or thoughts about where the roadmap should go. David shares, I am beyond excited at this new chapter in data accessibility. And now, not only can more people access and review the data through unique perspectives, but they can also help shape the stories and the data that is presented. I believe that this will truly lead to an even brighter future for data for all. Thanks for sharing that with us, David, and we're excited too.
Introducing Authoring Without a Mouse. You all are in for a treat because we're about to live demo worksheet authoring, Show Me 2.0, and dashboard authoring, all without a mouse. Take it away, Kelly.
All right, thank you, Denise. Let's see here. What do we have? All right, so Denise thinks I can keep a plant alive. I'm not convinced. So what am I going to do? I'm going to turn to data. Let's see what we have here. We have indoor plant health, and we've got house plant, we've got sunlight exposure, we've got new growth count. We've got some things we can use, but I'm going to pull up the keyboard so you can see what I'm doing. You know why? Because I am going to take my mouse, I'm going to stick it up here in the corner. For visual effect, I never did sports in school. Don't judge me. My throwing is not so awesome. Throw the mouse away, and I'm going to do this completely with the keyboard. Everybody ready? All right, so first thing, we need to start with a new viz. So I'm just going to create myself a new worksheet. There's our new worksheet. Now, what do I want on this worksheet? Well, I want to talk about houseplants. I'm going to go ahead and press Enter on houseplant for the context menu. Enter again to add to, arrow down to rows, enter, and space to drop it. I've got houseplant on my rows. Now I want to look at growth. I think you saw a bunch of my plastic plants, pretty big. So I'm going to go to new growth count with my arrow keys. Enter, enter again, arrows down, columns, space to drop it. I got my basic bar chart just using the keyboard. Not enough information though. I want to keep it alive, so I want it to be healthy. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to look at health score. Enter to open the context menu, add to, mouse down to the marks card, enter, and press space to drop it on color. Now you can see healthier plants, darker blue, less healthy plants, light blue. It works, but not really the color I think of. I think of healthy plants as like lush and green. I think of less healthy plants as kind of yellow. I'm going to tab my way over to colors on the marks card. I'm going to press enter and enter again to edit the color. I'm going to press space to open up my options. Arrow down, green, gold. Gold's kind of like yellow. Let's pick that. Close everything up. Now I've got my viz with healthiest plants in dark green, less healthy plants, light green, yellow. What else do I want to take into consideration? Though my environment is something I need to take into consideration. So I'm going to shift tab my way back to the data schema, and I'm going to go to my sunlight exposure. Enter for context menu, enter to add to, mouse down to filters, or enter, sorry, not mouse, keyboard down to filters, space to drop it. Tab my way down, and I'm going to select filtered sunlight through the curtain because all my plants are going to be indoor plants. Tab a little further, press OK. One more bit of information, I probably would need a label to keep track of like how frequently I need to water the plant. I'm going to err on plants I don't have to water quite as much. So I'm going to tab my way over to, here we go, and I'm going to go down to watering frequency in days. Enter, enter again, go down to marks card, enter, right arrow over, space, and now I have the label. So now I can make a decision. I can see we've got that Dieffenbachia is a really dark green, and I can also see the pothos is a pretty dark green, and I can see that Dieffenbachia, it's roughly every 3 days, and I might be able to stretch it out to every 4 days with the pothos. So kind of leading towards the pothos. Let's save this off. I don't have to make my decision right now. I might want to come back later and look at the data, so I'll just name this plant data. Save that off. I need to think about other aspects of the environment, though. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I moved to San Diego from Seattle because I am so cold-natured. I'm a little cold right now. So I keep my house a balmy 75 degrees. Because of that, I want to make sure my plant will be healthy in 75 degrees. So I'll make a new worksheet, and I'll go ahead and filter by what I've decided. I decided probably pothos or Dieffenbachia, so I'll just add that to filters. space to drop, tab my way down, search for pathos, tab and space, shift tab back up, search for Dieffenbachia, tab and space, tab my way down, close that up. I also already knew my environment was going to be indoors, so I'm going to mouse my way down to sunlight exposure, mouse, keyboard, I promise there's no mouse. Add to, arrow down, I'm going to add that to filters, drop it with a space, tab down a little further, select filtered sunlight through the curtain, tab my way out, close it up. All right, I got it pre-filtered. Now last time I made a bar chart. Who gets excited about bar charts? Oh, okay. I don't want to make you all mad, but I'm going to make a different type of chart this time, all right? I'm going to tab my way over to the Show Me button, make something just a little bit fancier. So I'm going to open up the Show Me dialog. You can see I've got pie charts, maps, line charts, shape. I've got all types of options, but I'm going to go with the new radial chart enabled by Viz extensions. I'll press space, and I will close up that dialog, and you can see I have instructions on the screen for how to build it. It tells me I need up to 5 dimensions and 1 measure. I'm going to tab my way back over to the data schema. For my dimensions, I'll add houseplant, add to, mouse down, show me, drop the space. I'm going to go over to room temperature in Fahrenheit. That's so I can figure out if it can handle my 75-degree house. Show me, space bar. And then finally, I'll do health score, and I'll add that to show me and spacebar. All right, we got a Viz. It's not too pretty. There's a lot of white space. I'll tab my way over to the marks card, tab my way down to format extension, and press enter. Tab my way a little further here, put center size of 10. Tab my way down. I'm going to edit the colors to something a little more springy. So I'm going to open that up. I'll go to, let's see, Lightning Color Safe has some nice springy options. Apply that, close it up. I've got myself a Viz that shows Dieffenbachia and Pathos, and it shows how they are, their health score that they have at different temperatures. So I can see that Pathos at 75 degrees, it has a 5 health score, which is the max on our levels, and I can see that Dieffenbachia is closer to a 4. So Pathos is probably the right plant for me. I'm just going to go ahead and save this off, though, in case I change my mind later. So I'll get that menu up. I'll rename this as Pathos versus Pathos. There it is, Pathos versus Dieffenbachia. I'll press OK. Save that off. Now, Denise, what do you think? Pathos, is it a good choice for me?
I think that that's a great first plant to get.
Awesome.
But I'm convinced that by now we've turned Kelly into a plant person.
I don't know about that.
And she's going to need all this data for all the plants she's adding to all her different rooms. So we're going to put all this information together onto a dashboard. So I'm going to right click to my dashboard, and I'm going to shift tab into, right there. And I'm going to click enter. And then I'm going to shift tab into our objects. So as I'm clicking to our objects, there we go. All right, so I'm in my objects, and I'm thinking we'll put the map on the top and the 2 worksheets on the bottom. So we'll create a vertical container. I'm gonna hit return again to add to dashboard, and then we'll shift tab and add that map. I'll hit return again, and then we'll add our 2 worksheets. Let's put them side by side. So I'm going to tab down to a horizontal container this time, press return to add to dashboard, and let's put the radial on the left and the bar chart on the right. So I'm going to keyboard down, return to add to dashboard, and then I'm going to go up, and again, return. Great. Everything's set, but it looks a little funny. Our map is super tiny, and there's so much space where the radial is. So we're going to shift tab into the controls. I'm going to edit the height by going down, clicking enter, and then let's do 375. I'll hit return. And then we're going to fix the white space with the radial. I'll shift tab, click return, and then we'll tab into the controls again, click return, And I'll go down to edit the width. Let's do 375 as well and press enter. All right, last step. The last thing I'm gonna do is shift tab and we're gonna publish. I'm gonna press enter. And there we go. We've published our entire dashboard and all of our worksheets, all without a mouse, using only our keyboard.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Denise. But before we go to the next section, I just want to talk a little bit about what it means to design for disability. I think we can all agree, if you're here, you probably feel like the world is driven by data. And when it's accessible to all, that's when it truly becomes powerful. What we're going to show you next, we did design for people with disabilities in mind, those who need it to get their job done. But I think some of you who just want it are going to be excited too. Denise?
So I'm going to provide some context. We discovered that Kelly is a pothos plant person. She likes plants with filtered sunlight. I myself am more of a ZZ plant person. I like plants that are highly adaptable to low light and plants that barely ever need watering. Awesome. And the funny thing is, our Viz preferences are the same. So Kelly likes her plants as they are in default mode, her Viz. And I like my Vizes a little different because I have light sensitivity and I'm on the computer all day. So we were looking through the ideas exchange and we saw the data fam had this idea to add a dark theme for Tableau. It had over 8,300 points for it, and we could tell that this was something that the data fam was really interested in. And so, coming soon is viewer-controlled themes. Experience data your way, whether it's something that you really need in order to become productive with your work, or whether you just like a dark mode. So, I was really inspired by a bunch of the dark Vizes I saw the data fam creating. So I decided to turn my dashboard into a dark mode dashboard. I'm going to play around with it a little bit. Let's go to the custom views dialog. Oh, that's still pretty bright. What if I turn on my data dialog? Yeah, that's still coming up in light mode. And if I try to get more information on my pothos with the view data dialog, this entire screen shows up in light default mode. So let's see if there's a way we can change that. I'm going to head over to my account settings and I'm going to scroll down to where it says accessibility. Here I see that there's this option for a theme. You can select your preferred viewer theme, and that selected theme will apply to the toolbar and navigation areas. I'm going to click on dark and see what happens. And just like that, our entire settings page has turned into dark mode. I'm going to click on recents and see if anything changed on my dashboard. So I'm clicking this here, and when I go back to it, I see that this dialog is all shifted into dark mode, and the data guide has also shifted. All of the icons and UI is all available for dark mode. Lastly, if I click on Pothos and I open up my view data dialog, now the entire thing has also shifted and is ready for anyone who wants to view dark mode. So I know that this is something that a lot of people are excited about. So let me explain the release schedule for this a little bit. In 2026.2, all of viewing Chrome will be available in dark mode as a viewer, excluding the Viz. So it'll look something like this. Settings page will be completely available in dark mode, and authoring will stay the same in default mode. Shortly after, in 2026.3, all of viewing will shift over to dark mode, including the Viz. And at some point next year, authoring will also be available for dark mode.
All right. That's what we have planned. So now it's how you can get involved very quickly. Submit an idea to the Idea Exchange. We do listen. Our product team is combing through it. We will try to make it happen. It will help us prioritize. If you go, you create, and you vote. You can attend an accessibility tug. We actually have Colin in the audience. This is, sorry. And we got in the back as well. That's quarterly. You can do it from the comfort of your own couch in your pajamas. You can find out what's new in accessibility and what people are doing to make their visits more accessible. You can have an accessibility session conducted by Blake Burgess. He'll be glad to talk to you about your needs for your organization, the size, the timing, what will work for you to help your company get on board. And you can also just email us directly, feedback, thoughts, issues, bugs, whatever it may be. Blake's putting his email address on the line there. He gave us permission. Email him directly. We'd love to hear from you directly. If you're interested in accessibility here, there's a hands-on training tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Andy's in the back. It's awesome. I've been involved with it twice already. You can attend. I know it'll be early, but you can make it happen. We've got a repeat of this session tomorrow as well. If someone you think could benefit from this, you can pass it along. And if you get home and you forget what we talked about, it's okay, because you can go in the app and get some session notes. You've seen this before, Coffee on Us. We do want your feedback. We want to know if we need to change this format next year, so please fill it out. And thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, and thank you for making the space to learn more about accessibility today.